for me, it's right now I've been a little bit worried about my calf, so it's good to get some minutes. Number one at game speed. And obviously we get the result, we shut it down. We almost get one more, a couple half chances also late in the game. So in saying that, overall good performance.
And how is the calf, obviously?
Yeah, good. Came out unscathed, so we get back at it tomorrow. Have a good training session Tuesday again, and then we to do or die on Wednesday night at home.
Yeah, so you won today, you get that home game. How important is that for you guys going forward?
Yeah, it's massive. For us right now, that's the biggest, that's a big piece to this puzzle that we've been trying to figure out. We definitely didn't think we'd be in this position halfway through the year. A lot of pressures from outside and within the group, but what we do is we persevere the best that we can. And one way to do that is put your head down and work, and we've all done that for each other. There's a lot of respect in this locker room for the changes that were made. A couple new personnel obviously changed things for us. So in saying that, this was a lofty goal, was to get a home game in this play-in. But it's something that we achieved, so we can put that in our back pocket. But knowing that we'll relish it tonight, but come Wednesday night, you're going to have a Kansas City team that's absolutely buzzing here.
Both Stefan Frei and Coach Schmetzer alluded to a self-confidence and kind of self-belief in your team. Can you just speak a little bit to that?
I think it's come from within. I think Schmetz has instilled a lot of confidence from day one. I think he took almost everybody individually and said, "This is what I want out of you." But also he came in front of the group and said, "If whoever you are, top to bottom, if you're not performing, somebody else will, and I'll find somebody else that'll do the job." And what does that do? That puts onus on us within a group to perform, number one, but it instills a confidence to know that top down, we're all in this together, and I think it's definitely something from within. But in saying that, we got a big one on Wednesday night.
And you've played with Zach Scott for 8 seasons now. Can you just talk a little bit about this is his last regular season game?
Yeah, you can't say enough about the guy. My first couple practices, I think, he's never a guy to stand out, and it was one of those where it was a guy who at a later age, I guess you'd say he was 29 when we first 29 when we first came to the Sounders. So experiencing a player like that get better as he got older is it's kind of unheard of, but it's a testament to the kind of person that he is, and everything comes from within from that guy. So in saying that, he wears the crest above all else. He works every single day after practice. He's there before practice early, and in saying that, what more can you ask for? What more can you ask from a teammate than that? And when he did step on the field, he performed.
I don't know if there's any champagne in here. What's sort of typically the MLS celebration for making the playoffs? Is there anything special?
No. At this point, this is there's still a lot of work to be done. I think this is a workman-like performance, in how we got here was very workman-like, so we continue that mentality. So in saying that, yeah, are we happy? Of course, but we also know in 2.5 days we've got another battle. If we happen to win that one, then we go another 2.5 days to play another battle at home. So in saying that, this is one, of course we're going to enjoy this, but there's no need for celebration in here like that.
At a tough point, go ahead.
Is it more meaningful this year, given everything that you guys went through, than maybe it was the other 8?
I sit at home and think about things all the time, from stuff you read, from stuff you see on TV, from you try to draw on experiences from college, high school. Every single season, every sport has a different storyline. You can't predict where you're going to end up, or what's going to happen 2-3 games into a season, or what's going to happen mid-season. But you can control your effort, and that's one thing that never, I don't think, ever waned this year. Saying, okay, we didn't finish a couple chances early on in the season. Maybe that sends our season a different direction. But as we sit here and reflect, it has its own course, and you kind of got to ride the wave. And if you put in the hard work, you're bound to have a good result at the end of it. So that's my view. Does it feel any more special? No. We expect to make the playoffs no matter what. It feels good to overcome certain odds, of course. It feels good to silence those who left this what they would have called sinking ship midway through the season. We'll happily have them at the stadium on Wednesday night to root us on. But like I said, every season has a different story, and you can't just jump off ship when things aren't going your way. And first and foremost, it's a family, and what do? We don't leave our family behind.
After it was about midpoint, it was a tough part of the season. In front of your locker post game, you were pretty frustrated. When you look back, are you most proud of the effort when the guys got back together and made this run?
Yeah, of course. I think you can go around and shake everybody's hand. I do every day. Even when we lose, I go and shake everybody's hand and thank them for what they did that day. There's going to be certain days where maybe it wasn't there. Sometimes we all need a jolt, a kick in the ass to get us on the right track. So if that's what it takes, it's what it takes. But I've always been a believer it comes from within. So in saying that, I'm a bit naive that sometimes, it has to come from. Maybe it's a couple string of poor results that motivates guys. Maybe it's sitting on the bench. Maybe it's coming out and doing extra training, mandatory. Different ways to motivate guys and to motivate a team. But one thing that's for sure is that we all collectively stayed together. I don't think nobody was pulling away from the group.
And that being said, what is Schmetzer's biggest strengths as it has to do with the core and keeping them together?
Well, listen, like I said before, he rallies the troops, and he says things in the locker room that guys can relate to and that guys can get behind, and they believe. So come a mid-season change, everybody's looking for some sort of change. What happened here wasn't rocket science. It wasn't a change of formation. It wasn't maybe a little bit changing of the training sessions, but what comes with that is a different demeanor, a different attitude, just a different voice. And okay, we all rallied behind it. I think everybody did. Put their head down and said, yeah, okay, we're going to get behind this and we're going to do this together. So in saying that, yeah, motivation comes first. Holding guys accountable, number one. Yeah, I mean, the list can go on and on.